Welcome to the Benton County Solid Waste District. This video is intended to help you understand our processes and rules. We appreciate your attention. For those workers that are part of the Benton County Work Program supervised by Kay Strickland, on your first day of work, you will be required to review the participant agreement, which is a list of rules and regulations about the district's program, as well as the rules of the county's work program. No supervisor at the district is allowed to change your hours or to allow you to work a different schedule than you are court assigned. Those decisions come from Kay only. If you have any questions regarding that, please call Kay at her office on the number that she provided. On your first day of work, you'll be required to review the participant agreement and sign it, indicating you're aware of the rules and regulations of this facility. Failure to comply with any of these rules will result in you being sent home for the day or possibly removed from the work program. Workers, it's your responsibility to make sure that your hours are accurately documented for the court. In order to do this, we have a double punch system in that we have you sign in on the court-required timesheet, as well as clock in and out on a time clock card. At the beginning of your workday, the supervisor will have you sign in on your timesheet in the supervisor's book, and they will provide you with your time clock card. Make sure that you are lining up the punches on your card in the correct spot by viewing the orange arrow through the clear glass window on the time clock. It will show you exactly where it will print your time in and out, and make sure those are in chronological order and that they are clear so that your time can be accurately noted. You are required to clock in the morning, clock out at lunchtime, clock back in after lunch, and clock out at the end of your workday. You are allowed 2 15-minute breaks per day, and those are to be taken at 10 a.m. and at 2 p.m. During your work hours, you are not allowed to place or receive telephone calls on your cell phone unless there is an emergency at home. If you are caught with your cell phone, you will be required to place it in your vehicle or in the supervisor's desk. If this becomes a recurring problem, you will be sent home for the day and may be removed from this work program. Your safety is a priority to everyone here at the district. We appreciate you taking your safety as seriously as we do. Please make sure that you always wear any personal protective equipment that is issued to you, depending upon what type of job you're doing. These may include gloves, safety eyeglasses, hearing protection, face protection, and other types of uniform type items. Make sure that you always pay attention to all signs on equipment. You are not allowed to operate any district equipment without permission of your supervisor. Do not assume just because you have a forklift certification through some other agency that you are allowed to operate our equipment. That will be handled on a case-by-case basis with your supervisor. You're required to take care of the district's equipment and prevent damage. Please notify your supervisor if you are aware of any damage that has occurred or any kind of maintenance or repair that is needed on an item so that we can make sure that it is safe for use. Processing number 1, plastic bottles. Often these bottles will be clear. They can be colored, such as green or brown, and they will always have a number 1 symbol in the chasing arrows on the bottom of the bottle. Sometimes people want to put in deli clam shells and reusable water bottles. However, neither of those products can be included in this material. When sorting this material and preparing it for baling, you will need to empty the liquid from the bottles, place the bottles into a Gaylord, and when the Gaylord is full, notify your supervisor to switch out with a new Gaylord. When baling this material, simply dump the Gaylord onto the floor and push the empty bottles into the baler. Make sure that you pull out any items that don't belong. Number 2, natural bottles and jugs are opaque plastic, which means that you can sort of see through it. It's not completely colored or so thick that you cannot see through it. And these would be like milk jugs. Some shampoo bottles are also number 2 natural. The natural plastic just means that it has not had a color added to it, and so it is often that kind of grayish, clearish plastic like a milk jug. Sometimes people get confused and try to include the white milk jugs in this material, and please make sure those are removed. Other items that have a number 2 on the bottom of the item are not included if it is not a number 2 natural jug or bottle. Number 2 colored bottles. These must have a neck. Often citizens will place yogurt tubs, margarine tubs, all kinds of plastic toys and things like that into this material. However, it has to be a bottle or jug, and it has to have the number 2 on the bottom, and it will be colored. It won't be a clear color. It'll be white or some other color. Make sure that you remove all other types of material from this material. The district's plastic program requires that the item have a neck which is smaller at the top than at the bottom. Sometimes it's not a big difference between the top and the bottom, but it'll always be slightly smaller with an indentation of some type, sometimes threads, on the top. Other items will have to be thrown in the trash. These could include things like reusable water bottles, deli clams, tubs, yogurt containers, any kind of plastic bags. Often the citizen doesn't understand what's allowed in that material, and they will try to recycle something that we're not able to recycle. So please make sure that you pull out any items that are not bottles or cans from the plastic. When sorting aluminum cans, please make sure that you remove all other items such as aluminum foil, aluminum pans, steel cans, and sometimes even pet food cans will have a combination of steel and aluminum. Aluminum will not allow a magnet to stick to it, and so if you are confused about what item it is, you can test it with a magnet. But make sure that only aluminum cans, which could be, soda or alcoholic beverage cans, make sure those are the only items that you are putting into that Gaylord. When sorting cardboard, you will be removing all items that are not corrugated cardboard, which means that it has ripples in between 2 layers of flat paper. You'll remove anything such as cereal boxes, any kind of trash. Don't assume that the box is empty. Make sure that you open every box and remove all items from the box, such as styrofoam, plastic bags, any kind of other packaging that might be in there. Most of the items will go into the trash. However, we will recycle chipboard, which is also called paperboard, and those will be placed into a Gaylord as you're sorting the cardboard. Paperboard is a product that looks similar to cardboard. It'll often be a brown color, but it will be completely flat without layers of ripples underneath the top layer. When you're sorting that material, make sure that you remove all beer and soda cartons from that material, as they are loaded with a special type of glue and cannot be included in this mix. Beer and soda cartons will be placed into the trash. We allow only bottles and jars in our glass program, so please remove all items such as cookware, window panes, candle holders, any other types of items that are not just a regular glass jar or bottle. We do sort glass by color, and so you'll be sorting into either clear glass, brown glass, or blue and green mix. When sorting newspaper, please make sure that you carefully sort this material by shaking it loose onto the conveyor belt. Often contaminating items will be hidden in between layers of paper. So as you're placing the material onto the baler, shake it loose so that you can remove all plastic, pencils, pens, trash, candy wrappers, those types of items that are often accidentally mixed in with this material. On the newspaper, we will only allow newsprint, which is typically a gray paper, packing paper, magazines, phone books, and other types of paper similar. You will pull out for recycling in a different stream all of the white types of paper. So if there is a stack of white paper of several pages, make sure that you remove that and save it for the sorted office paper. This material is basically any type of paper that would normally be seen in a business office on a desk. Please remove all newspaper, phone books, and magazines, as well as any trash, especially plastic. Make sure that you shake it loose so that any contaminating item found in between the sheets can be removed. When sorting steel cans, remove all other items, including any type of metal products that might be placed in there by accident, such as pots and pans, hangers, any kind of other metal items. It can only be a steel can. Steel cans will allow a magnet to stick to it, so if you're confused about whether it's aluminum or steel, you can test it with a magnet. When emptying the styrofoam container, you will pull all packaging type styrofoam which has visible pebbles. You will place those into a super sack, which is a canvas type bag that's the size of a Gaylord. Any other items such as plastic foam, meat trays, egg cartons, any other type of smooth styrofoam product like a cup, those will be placed into trash. If you have any packing peanuts in the bin that are clean and dry, those will be placed into a separate barrel for collection for reuse. The district will not sell any electronic device which has the potential to contain any kind of personal information, such as a computer, a laptop, a cell phone, iPod, any of those types of things. However, we will sell other types of electronics like televisions, DVD players, those types of things. If as your processing material you come across an item that was not purchased with district money and was brought in by a citizen, those items will be placed up for sale, including furniture. You will, through a bid process, determine what amount you're willing to pay for the item and write up a slip and tape it to the item. The district director will make a determination if the value that you propose is acceptable, and you will be notified by your supervisor.